my speech is about being a flight attendant. So if you go online and you Google quotes on traveling, you're going to find a bunch of pages about funny quotes, inspirational, traveling with friends. They got it. But the one that sticks to me the most is one by St. Augustine, and it says that the world is a book, and those who do not travel, they only read one page. And I love to read so much. And as I read that quote, I thought, why not me? Why am I reading about all these wonderful places and yet I haven't been there? So I decided to become a flight attendant. Been given the opportunity to travel to Spain, to England, Amsterdam, Italy, all over the United States. And the question I usually get is, what is it like to be a flight attendant? So I'm going to be discussing the training that we have to go through, how our schedules work, and what actually happens during a flight. So the first thought I thought when I became a flight attendant was like, oh, we just serve Coke. And that's not the case. We're nurses, we're firefighters, we're counselors, we're policemen up there, we're bartenders. You know, we do a bunch of things out there, but before we even put on a plane, we gotta learn what to do with every situation. So they first teach us CPR and first aid, just when to do both. First aid can be a minor cut, how to properly address the wound. CPR, if a person is laying unconscious, the procedures for it, when we put an oxygen mask on them, if we do not put an oxygen mask on them. We do medical emergencies. We've delivered babies on planes, not I, but other flight attendants have. They teach us what we should do in that event. I personally had a passenger who suffered a stroke when he was in his 30s, and teach us FAST, which is face, arm, speech, time. And we immediately landed the aircraft as soon as we can get that person medical attention, the faster you can, help the passenger out. They also teach us how to evacuate an aircraft in the event of an evacuation in under 90 seconds. So they teach us what our drills are, what we have to shout, our commands, what to do, how to address people who stay frozen, who are scared, who are in shock, people who can assist themselves to, let's say, jump down the slide, or people with traveling with pets, what to do in those certain situations. It's not just come here, let's go. It's more like, okay, address them to sit, to scoop, because those people are likely to place their hand down the slide and burn themselves when we don't want that. We want them to push themselves forward. They also with my job, we do, seniority is king. So the longer you've been with the company, the better your schedule is going to look like. So if you just started, you're going to be working the flights that nobody wants, or you're going to be working the flights that people have called out sick from. So with longevity comes better pay and the better ability to move your schedule around. And being on reserve means that crew scheduling, which is not your manager, but they are the ones who determine the schedule for you. They will be the ones who will be letting you know what it is that you'll be doing. So every month we look at a packet that contains our schedule. Now, schedule, we want to work weekends, we want to work July 4th, if we want to go to New York for a Tuesday, we can determine that schedule. We can look in that schedule to see if it is on the list, and we can apply to see if we get it. Now, it works by seniority. I'm with the company 8 years, so I'm number 300 out of that. So I'm more likely to get what I want from number 1,000. But the person at the top can pick exactly what they want, the perfect schedule. Now, crew scheduling, as I was saying before, they're the ones that do determine your flights for you. Those are for the people who are on reserve. Those are the ones that just started. They can call you at a given time and say, hey, we need you here in 2 hours. 2 hours, you get ready, you go. You don't, that schedule. I do. I've been with the company longer, hence seniority. Seniority, the longer you are with the company, the more likely you're going to get what you want. Now, in order to bid, we have a system called Flicka. So it's an online program that it determines your schedule, that you're able to pick up or drop whatever you want. So let's say tomorrow I don't want to work. I go online, I drop it, hope for the best, I get it, it's dropped. Let's say I want to come, when I finish my job, I want to go back to work immediately. I have the ability to do that. Or I want to trade with someone else, I have the ability to do that. The most important is pay and hours. Now, we don't work 40-hour weeks as a job. We work 110 hours a month, max. It doesn't sound like a lot, but after 75 hours, you get time and a half. You get paid well. You start off at a certain rate, and after 6 months, you get an increase. A year, you get an increase, and after that, every year, you get another increase. Then, after that, you also get paid for every hour you are gone on a trip. So, a trip is a work week for you, for a normal work schedule. So 4 days, gone for 4 days, I will be getting paid 2 hours for every hour that I'm gone. That's the hourly rate. So that is how our pay is. Now flights, boarding, taking off, cruising, and landing, they're all different phases of flight. They're all different special attention throughout each step, and the service cart is not the only thing that is involved in the flight. We have this beautiful thing right here that tells us what we should do, what we don't do, how to do it. It tells us everything that we need to know. Boarding, of course, we make sure that the passengers come on safe, make sure that they're sitting at their assigned seats, they're able to use the restrooms, bins are closed. Then we have to let the flight attendants know we're done boarding, arm doors. We take off, we have to sit a certain way. We have to sit here and do a briefing that we have to think to ourselves, God forbid anything was to happen during the flight, what are we supposed to do? Now, yes, that's what we do the service. We take up the cart, ask everyone if they want anything to drink, anything to buy, put the cart away, we go and handle trash. But we're also vigilant of what's going on in the aircraft. Now, before we're preparing for landing, the aircraft is safe. We get to the gate, nobody can stand up because we are in an active taxiway as we start the gate, make sure everyone's fine. That's our safety. So it may seem like a life of leisure, but we do play many roles, and the steps that we need to be able to do this is not easy. So we do talk about training, which training is 4 weeks. Not easy. It's a lot of information in those 4 weeks that you don't know about. What to do in emergencies. We also talked about what we're doing before, after, and during a flight. And I hope that everyone leaves with the understanding that flight attendants are not there just to comfort you, we're there to save you as well, and that the pilots are not the only ones involved in an emergency. Thank you.